For our workout today, we are going to be working on lower body, but first we're going to start off with our warm-up. So 3 rounds of this. We're going to start off with lizard walks. So you're going to either start in a standing position or a plank position, and I'll kind of show you both. So lizard walks, you can either step forward, release your opposite hand to the ground, and then twist your other hand up towards the sky. Now you have the option here to either put your hand back down, stay in a plank position, and then draw the foot to the other side. Or you can walk your hands back up to standing and then step forward, release your opposite hand to the ground, and then find the stretch. So you're going to alternate between each of those 5 times total per side. Then you're going to come down to the ground. We're going to go into a hip circle circuit. There's going to be 4 total movements, and you're going to do each of these movements 5 times per side. So you're going to be in your tabletop position, wrists stacked under shoulders, knees under hips. And you can draw your one knee into the side, depending on which side you start with, just so you have a little bit more stabilization. So circuit number 1, you're going to rotate your knee out to the side without compromising dipping your other hip. So try to keep your hips as stable as possible. You're going to go up and down with the knee at a 90-degree angle with control, finding that position where you need to stop 5 times. Then you're going to draw your leg out nice and straight behind you, bend at the knee, curve the knee in towards your armpit, and then straight back out. Open up the knee, curve it in towards your armpit, straight back out. You're going to go there for 5 times. Then you're going to go knee in towards the armpit, rotate the knee out externally, rotate it out, straighten the leg, come back through. Knee in, knee rotates out, rotate the knee towards the ground, straighten the leg, back in. And then last but not least, for 5 reps, your leg is going to go straight out by your side, and you're going to use your glute med, your hips, to pull up as high as you can for 5 reps. Trying to focus on not rotating or rounding your spine to one way. Try to keep your spine as straight as possible. 5 little reps with control. Then you'll complete this on the other side. The last warm-up, you're going to get into a squat position, whatever is comfortable for you. You're going to send your hips back and down, hinge at the hips, reach towards your toes, and then you're going to sink your hips as far down as you can into a squat position. If you can't touch your toes, it's all good. Maybe hold on to your shins. Feel the stretch through your hamstrings, positioning all the way in your toes when you come into that forward fold, and then rock all your way back onto your heels in the squat. You're going to go back and forth. And then once you're done 3 rounds of this, you're going to go right into your first superset. All right, so superset number 1 is going to be a tempo goblet squat with a 3-0-1-1 tempo, just meaning you're going to go 3 seconds down, 1 second pause at the bottom, 1 second to get back up. Then we're going to go into reverse lunges with a dumbbell. So goblet lunge or goblet squat, you're going to take your hands up and under your dumbbell or kettlebell, whatever you have on hand. Take your feet into a squat position, whatever feels most comfortable, maybe a little bit wider than hip distance apart, 45-degree angle outwards of the toes, whatever feels best for you. You're going to come down for 3 seconds, thinking about taking the hips back as the knees drive forward. 1 second pause, 1 second explosion up towards the top. 3, 2, 1, come into your pause, press back up. That's going to be your goblet squats with that tempo. Then you're going to come into dumbbell reverse lunges. So dumbbells are going to be by your sides. You're going to step 1 foot back, like you're on railroad tracks, so that there's a little bit of space in between them. Take the knee down towards the ground. Front knee is stacked over front ankle, and back knee is stacked under back hip. Press back up, alternating it out. Moving with control with these guys. I'd rather you guys go with control and form over pounding out a bunch of reps that don't look beautiful. Take 30 seconds to a minute rest, and then go through that a few more times. All right, so superset number 2 is going to be a dumbbell glute bridge, followed by 3011 tempo V-stance single leg deadlifts. I know it sounds like a mouthful, but it's not that hard. All right, so you're going to grab your dumbbell or kettlebell, whatever you have on hand, come down into your glute bridge position. Feet are going to be hip distance apart or even wider. You're going to bring the dumbbell onto your hip bones. Make sure that your knees are over your ankles, and you're going to draw your hips up towards the sky by squeezing your glutes, making sure that the hands are holding onto that dumbbell. Squeeze, 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 come back down to start. You're going to go through this, through your desired rep range, and then we're going to switch it on up into single leg V-stance deadlifts. So you're going to step your feet apart. Front leg is going to be a little malleable. Back leg is going to be nice and static. And we're going to hinge at the hips and send the hips back. Other hand's going to hold onto the dumbbell. So you're going to send the hips back. Feel the stretch through this front leg. Rotate towards the ground. Hips are square with the front of the room. And we're also keeping our back nice and neutral. So draw your shoulders down and away so we're not rounding forward. We're staying nice and neutral with the spine. Squeeze the glutes of this back leg, especially as we come back into a standing position. And you're going to go through those through your desired rep range per leg. Take 30 seconds to a minute rest in between rounds. For your final circuit today, you're going to go through step-ups, either onto a chair or a bench or maybe even your couch. And then we're going to go right into Cossack squats, followed by half kneeling Turkish get-ups. So for our step-ups, you can take any desired height. If you have any knee issues, maybe try stepping up onto a stepping stool, just so you can really focus on what I'm going to be talking about. So when I want you to step up, I want you to focus on keeping this knee from dipping inwards or dipping outwards. Most of the time, it's dipping inwards, so try to keep it stacked over that front ankle as you press up. Stand tall, and then with control, come back down. Make sure that the knee doesn't dip down on the way back down. Release your foot, alternating it up. Same thing as you're coming. So you're alternating the feet as you go, up and down, moving with control. Then you're going to come into Cossack squats. So you're going to take your feet nice and wide, toes facing out in a 45-degree angle, and your knee is going to trace a line towards your big toe, keeping your hips open on this side. Sink as low as you can without bringing this other foot up. Stand all the way nice and tall, upper body's upright, sink into that other hip. You're going to go side to side here. You might even hear your hips popping. Mine always do. And then last but not least is going to be your half kneeling Turkish get-ups. So you're going to start off in a lunge position, like so, almost like Captain Morgan's position. And you're going to draw your back toe, actually anchor it towards yourself. This hand of the opposite foot is going to come down towards the ground. You're going to reach your other hand towards the sky. The first step of our Turkish get-up, or a half kneeling Turkish get-up, is to rotate that back foot out into the lunge position. Use your core to stand tall. And then just from here, we're going to come into a lunge position, still with this hand overhead. Rotate back down. Sit in that Captain Morgan's pose. Rotate the foot in. Free hand goes to the ground. And then we're back to start. And you're going to do this on both sides. Remember to take 1 minute rest in between rounds. Have fun with it, guys.